Why are your guys wanting this to be an option?
We want to make sure that we have the tools we need to deal with the threats that we may encounter on the streets. It's important for us to have the training and the tools. We think that this will help us deal with threats.
Are there any that come to mind in recent years? I don't think of any that this would have been useful to you guys. You know, Brentwood actually has never fired one of their rounds, believe it or not.
Right. Well, Brentwood is the closest. They had an incident in 2002 where they were in a shootout with a suspect armed with this type of weapon. I've in contact with some of my colleagues. Indianapolis had an incident in 2004, I believe, where they had a suspect that shot several of their officers, killing one, armed with a AK-47.
Have we had any here where this, you know, kind of like similar to the Brentwood issue, where it would have been good for you guys to have this available, or is there nothing?
I don't know specifically of incidents where but
it's not hard to envision one happening.
It's not hard to envision one happening. It is a force multiplier. It allows officers to engage a threat that may have body armor, something that wouldn't be our usual weapons of shotgun or pistol wouldn't be able to deal with.
Is it a notion where, I mean, the bad guys, it's so easy, you know, the bad guys have access to this stuff too, and it's, you know, you guys could be outgunned in situations.
It is easy to, you know, we deal with those ideas. We do those threats analysis. Hold on just a second, I'm sorry. Just leave him alone for a second, okay? If you just leave him alone, he'll be all right. I'm sorry.
Let's start that.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, is it a scenario where, I mean, are your guys coming in contact with guys that can be, you know, overgunned compared to what you guys have?
Well, we know that those weapons are out there. We know that people that use those weapons may not be known to us, but the situation could arise. Having these weapons available in this program will help us be able to deal with those situations.
Any idea how many? I mean, we're going to start with 20. Do you think there will be a lot more than that that'll want to take part?
I think there will be a lot of demand for it. I think that, again, we have officers that have prior military experience. They've been trained on these weapons. They know this weapon platform. They know that it can be utilized in a limited circumstance when necessary, but it's going to be something that they know how to use.
Are you guys okay with the notion that this would be their weapon, not, I mean, the chief kind of felt like it was a better thing that it would be their weapon as opposed to a city weapon, but any thoughts on that from your perspective?
Well, it does allow the officer to know the weapon, to know that they've purchased what they feel is within the guidelines, and have the choice that you wouldn't have if it was a departmental issued weapon. There are benefits that way. There, of course, are costs. This cost does go to the individual officer, but I think it's a sound way to start the program. Who knows, eventually we may be able to get, like some of other cities have been able to get, the community to make offers of those weapons.
Any other things I should ask you? That's really all the questions I have.
We believe that having this weapon is a tool for professionals, and that law enforcement officers
Sure.
We believe that having this tool in the hands of law enforcement officers is the right tool for professionals. Just because someone may be proficient with a weapon doesn't necessarily make them a law enforcement officer. We don't allow people who aren't trained and licensed to practice medicine or law or fly airplanes. This is why this training is utilized and necessary for law enforcement officers, and it's a subtle difference but a significant difference.